For a continent with the second largest population, Africa has less than 3% of global air traffic. A lack of routes link key cities, a lack of regular flights fly those routes, and a lack of profitable airlines compete on them. For example, flying from Cape Town to Lagos, the second fastest growing city in Africa, a direct flight should take 6 hours, except there's no point-to-point flights. The cheapest options often go via the Gulf, taking up to 25 hours, while the faster, yet often more expensive routes within Africa still take you 10. With sub-Saharan GDP expected to grow almost 6% this year, and international tourist arrivals growing by the same amount, change may finally be coming.
Strategically, it's a region that's growing. It's going to boom. There are issues in regard to infrastructure, safety, security, but they're issues that are going to be overcome.
The infrastructures are improving, which was one of the key issues. Airports, air traffic control, civil aviation, regulations everywhere. And there is an enormous need for air traffic coming directly from the economic growth.
The biggest roadblock remains governments, essentially refusing to open up the skies and protecting their national carriers.
Aviation should get the right attention, the required attention from governments. Aviation, especially in Africa, is a critical, essential public service.
Liberalisation agreements do exist. It's all talk, with seemingly little action.
In terms of liberalization, you know, we've liberalized the skies in Africa, but there's a number of things
No,
that
you have no. In theory maybe, but in practice not at all.
There's a number of constraints in different countries, you know, with regard to policies, with regard to the regulatory environment. There's a number of constraints, but in terms of the decisions themselves, we've taken the right decisions, but we would like to see even greater cooperation between these African airlines.
Kenyan Airways is listening and recently suggested an extraordinary idea, merging with the other local leaders, South African and Ethiopian Airways.
You can't go on and on and on the way we are. We've got to start consolidating. I don't know whether you call it a merger or whatever it is. Avoid a situation where we're running two aircrafts side by side at 50% cabin factor.
It is not that we don't want to merge. We see clear synergy among ourselves. So any kind of cooperation can be the starting point, and also only to the extent that we can consolidate our powers in terms of securing our market share.
If the African carriers can't get their act together, the winners are the global airlines, who now make up almost 60% of intercontinental traffic to and from Africa. And of course, right at the heart, those in the Gulf.
We've progressively entered Africa, but into key points. So we fly into Johannesburg, we fly into Nairobi, we fly into Lagos, and we fly into North Africa. And what we've done, Richard, is partner. So we're now partnering with Kenyan over Nairobi. What we're doing is complementing each other's networks. They take us into 26 points in Africa that we'll never touch.
Major trunk routes with hub connectivity, it's a start. It's the quality of airlinks outside the major routes that will ultimately decide whether African aviation truly lives up to its potential. The connectivity opportunities in Africa seem almost